All right, let's see. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Got it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Start a poll, maybe. Um, yeah, let's start a poll. Should DIY hobby mechanics replace transmissions? Yep. Add poll. Let's see. Can we add an option? What's an option? No. Yes. No. I don't know. You're crazy. How about that? Sure. Why not? All right. Let's do that. Yeah, let's try that. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So, everybody, let me redo this introduction because I was. Hey, everybody. What's up? Dan Bisagni. Thank you for joining me. Just wanted to give you guys an update and sorry, I'm holding the light. An update on the minivan. So, let's do this. So this is our minivan we call. She is 2008 Honda Odyssey EXL. I was quoted $6,800 to do the engine, the transmission, and I said no because I'm not gonna pay $6,800 to fix a car that cost me $6,600. So what I did was, so I borrowed some tools from a friend. I bought some tools, and I bought a $300 transmission with less miles than my transmission on it. I replaced the seals on that transmission. So there's an external seal between the torque converter and the engine itself. There's a O-ring, and then there's a big seal on the back of that engine. So I replaced the engine and the seal. No, I replaced the O-ring and the seal on that transmission right there with the orange label. And then I put the torque converter back on it. I pulled the other engine out, and it hit the power steering rack on the way down because I kind of lost control of that transmission trying to do just the transmission jack. Do not do that. Hey, if you're going to do this job, use the transmission jack and use the cherry picker crane thing to stabilize the top. I did not do that at first, and I almost dropped the transmission. So, because that thing is weird, the center of balance, I couldn't figure out where the center of the balance was. So, also, one thing that I do every time I do a job like this, that I don't know if anyone else does this, but here's a quick home mechanic tip. I watch every video I can find on the vehicle that I'm working on and the process that I need to remove. And there's a great video by a Hispanic mechanic that kind of walks through this whole thing, and he's really good. He takes apart more than I do. I did this whole job. I removed the whole transmission without taking out the cooling system lines, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but my process is like this. So basically what I'll do is I will, number one, I will look up every video on YouTube I can find for the job that I'm going to do. Dropping a transmission, there's 2 or 3 good ones. Then what I'll do is I will watch the video, and here, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll watch the video and I will make a list. I'll pause it and make checkpoints of everything that the person's doing. And then I will just make a long list. This thing is like 3 or 4 pages long of everything I got to do to get the vehicle apart. And then what I do is I just do it as do it as much as I can. I do every single thing on the list as cleanly as I can, and then when I'm putting it back together, instead of checking the back, the right side, the left side, sorry, instead of check marking the left side, when I'm putting it back together, I'll go through the same list backwards and I'll check the right side. And that way I know I don't miss anything. So, oh man, someone actually visited. I should have said hi. Yeah. So today we got a couple of things we got to do. We're going to go through the engine seals while we got the transmission out. We're going to do the rear main seal, the O-rings. The rear main seal has, I think, 2 O-rings and a big seal. We're going to do the camshaft rear seals. We're going to do the oil filter housing seals, 2 O-rings, and they're on sensors, and 1 large seal. And then we're going to do the power steering rack. We're going to bend the second hose. We bent the first hose already with my son. That was pretty cool. Hey, Jake, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining my stream. And then we're going to bend the power steering hoses. I got one already pre-bent. I got to do the other one. And then we're going to fix the power steering hoses, which are right down there. Hey, man, post in the comments what your name is. Oh, you're jetted. All right, that's all good. Whatever. Yeah, so hope you're doing well. And then, yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna put you guys up on a tripod and probably plug the battery in so that this thing doesn't die. But yeah, and we'll get started with the rear main seal. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm just figuring this out as I go. So we'll do this. Let's see. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I think we can put this right here. Let's try to get this thing set properly. I'll try to put you right on the engine block. We'll get you guys some light so you can see. Actually, I should put it on the other side. You guys can see, taking out the taking that guy out. Is that cool? You guys see? Can't see? The giant bar in the way. Let me see if I can get you guys a better angle through the side view. Oh yeah, that's way better. Let's do that. Okay, that's what we're taking out. Okay, so let's see if we can get it. Need my impact gun, good battery, and I need my impact tool. So let's do this. Alright guys, here's the tool I made. I don't know if you can see that. There's no light down here. Oops. Alright, here's the tool I made. It is a 17 millimeter bolt with the bevel ground off. And the reason I did that was so that it'll fit on these bolts here. You need a 12 spline socket to do this, and then it should fit properly. Now, when I did it, I may have messed up the tempering, the heat tempering, but who knows. So it's all good. We'll figure it out. Let's see what we got. It's gonna get really loud, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, hopefully this will work. All right, that's the boss man. Good man. Let's see what we got here. Okay, 73, 4, and 8, a little better. Alright, let me try it a different way. You have to go straight in on it. Let's see, I'm going to bring you in here though. It's going to be loud, dude. I do apologize. Hey man, nice to meet you. Glad you're here. I'm just pulling apart the rear main seal I don't know what this plate is called. I think it's called a flex plate. But this was on a 2008 Honda Odyssey. Here we go. It's gonna get loud. Ooh, it actually spun. Nice. That's so cool. It worked, and it didn't crack. Well, hopefully it'll stay that way. Let's break them all loose, and then we'll. Yeah, baby. I'm so pumped about this. This was the part that most people said was horrible. If you make this tool, it makes it so much easier. Can't believe how easy this is. You got to make this tool for sure. All right, here we go. Last one. All right, that's it. That's it. I am so pumped about that. Yeah, that is so awesome. Okay, we're gonna take all these bolts out. And what we gotta do is make sure we don't lose any of these plates, pieces, or these bolts. All right, get this old catch tray out of the way. We're gonna take this down in the same order that it's on. I put a mark here, I don't know if you see it, but it's a blue Sharpie, just to make sure I know where it's supposed to go. I know on Nissans there's an alignment to this stuff that if you don't do, your car won't run right. So I don't think Hondas are that way, but I'm not going to mess around and find out. We're going to just do it this way. Cool. I'm putting this face down like that on the ground. I'm going to pull this guy. Pull this guy. Amazing. I'll put him face down also. Wow, that's the rear main seal of my car. Wow. I've never seen that. Okay. So, well, that's interesting. Everyone said that there was an O-ring right there. Is it inside? Or is this just a different bell housing? Interesting. Wow, and this seal looks really good. Golly, I don't know that I want to mess with that seal. Everyone says to do this main seal though when you're doing this engine job, or I should say this transmission job. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do it? We do it, right? Yeah, I think we got to do it. So let's do the rear main seal. Man, it looks so good though. Huh. It's not leaking at all. Goodness, do they take this off? Wow, it doesn't look bad at all. I think I'm going to leave it. Yeah, let's leave it. Wow. That's awkward. So, no, the guy said to do it. Let's do it. All right, we're going to pull this rear main seal out. But first, we're going to drop the oil so we don't make a mess. And so there's less oil to pour out of here. And then, yeah. So let's drop the oil real quick. And then we'll come back to this. All right, I'll reset. We'll reset our location. Okay. Ooh. All right. Oh, that's really interesting. Interesting. Oh, I never put gloves on. I'm gonna take you with me. We gotta put some gloves on. What are we gonna do? Put some gloves on, pull the oil out, and we'll get a maybe a headlamp on. All right, just a little trick I've learned also doing my own mechanics work for a long time. Always put an extra glove in your back pocket because you're gonna rip one. So yeah, so I always grab 2 gloves, and what I'll usually do is when I take my gloves off, I just flip them inside out because I usually get the heavy duty ones, and then I know they're always inside out if they're not new, and I blow them open, put them on, take the extra one, put it in my back pocket inside out, just keep it that way. And then I have another one here, one of my older ones, and I'll put that on. All right, so let's get the oil pan to catch the oil. We'll pull the drain plug, pull the dipstick, open the cap on the top, drain the oil, and we'll do the rear main seal for the 3.5 liter 2008 Honda Odyssey. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, was the chat turned off? I'm new to this, so some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna do live chat. Just keep it nice. Keep it nice. Okay, and let me know if you guys can't hear me. Trying this out on an old phone while my other phone is monitoring my on-call. All right, let me get the oil. And oh yeah, hey, this was another thing that was really helpful. Let me show you. Turns out that if you have a creeper, it's good for holding a Honda subframe. These things are really heavy, so that was actually really useful. I usually get cardboard to throw down. Throw cardboard down. All right, so oil change. Just a heads up, I do oil and filter change. I think I always do a filter. And the reason I do that is, 1, because I'm too forgetful to remember if I did the filter last time. And 2, I don't want to screw up my car because my filter got clogged. So, but cool thing that we're going to do with the transmission is we're going to add a transmission filter external to our setup. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. And we're going to add a transmission cooler because apparently these transmissions tend to overheat and then they get burned up, the torque converters. So funny that I'm doing this when I have an oil catch tray right there, but that's besides the point. Okay, so oil pan. Let's get a Ziploc for these bolts. And yeah, keep moving. Okay. Let's see. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna share this with y'all because this is super funny. My wife just sent me this, and I think it's hilarious. So, that is amazing. I don't know if it's coming in backwards, but that's pretty funny. I love it when my wife sends me memes and stuff like that. Super fun. Okay. All right. One of the things that I am also doing is all these hardware pieces. Putting these into Ziplocs so I know where they are, so they're all together. This one's going to be pretty easy though because we're not really going to move it anywhere. We're just going to put it back in right after we're done. So I'm just going to keep that together here. Get that out of my way. And we'll pull the oil out. Get that tray. Turn that thing on. All right. Oil tray. And forget if this thing is a 14 millimeter or 17 millimeter. So let's check it first with the 14, and we'll also bring down the 17. Nice thing is I already have them. Hey, you guys want to see this on cans or what? Let's see. See if I can bring it down here and check and see what it is first. It's not a 15 or 14. It is a 17. All right. I'm going to go ahead and probably shouldn't use this one. Counterclockwise, good. Okay. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. All right, I'm going to flip you around. Okay, so what do we got? This is the bottom of the oil pan. It just broke loose that bolt. It's a 17 millimeter. Sorry, 17 millimeter. Oh goodness. YouTube, stop telling me to rotate stuff. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're underneath the car. Doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. So we're gonna pull the oil, and we're gonna try and get it to catch into this tray right here. Okay. Goodness gracious. There's nothing steel in this car. It's all aluminum. Right. See if we can do this without getting ourselves completely messed up. By the way, I usually do this with a paper towel, and I do not have a paper towel right now. So, whatever. I don't know what's wrong with my lighting, but it is not working. There we go. How's that? Better? A little bit better. Sure, why not? Okay. Here we go. Ready? This is going to be kind of a mess because it's 2 feet higher than it normally is for me. So I don't know where the heck this thing's going to end up. Also, it's backlit like crazy. Alright, so I'm just going to pull it and see what happens. It's going to be a mess, I think. Actually. Yeah, that's close enough, right? Oh, I'm a doofus. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's do it this way. Got an idea. Let's do it this way. Okay. Okay. Let's do that there. Should be fine. There we go. That way we don't have any questions about where the oil's gonna go. Just know. Okay. That'll do. Let me see if I can get the drain plug pulled. That should give us a little bit more speed. And get me a napkin. Oh, I had a napkin in my hands. Nice. So, I don't know if you can see it, but that oil is burned. Oh man, it was time to change it, but I might need to set changing the oil a little bit sooner. That oil is black. That's not good. I don't think you want it that black. Yeah. A little bit of bubbles in it. But that should be fine. Bubbles is okay. Burned is not okay. I think I'm going to start changing my oil at 3,000 miles, man. These 5,000 miles is cooking my oil, and this is... Oh, I know why. This is conventional oil. This car has oil leaks, so we were doing conventional oil. Or we were thinking it was possibly the VVT system was eating the oil through the rings. if the engine's worn. So we're using conventional oil. So this is 3,000 mile conventional oil. This is black. Man, maybe we should do 2,500. Oh, it's a little. You can see kind of through it. Yeah, that should be alright. The battery's dying on this thing. Alright. See what else we got. Gotta get the oil filter off. This subframe out of the way of that. Okay. Yes, we can. I'm going to bring you guys over here for the oil filter. That way you guys can see. Let's see if you can see. Can you see it? Maybe. Maybe not. Can you see that oil filter? Maybe. There you are. That's the oil filter. I'm gonna scoot this guy over so that when the oil starts dripping, it'll drip over here. Pull my plug out. Get my plug cleaned up. Always clean your plug up. If you have these crush washers, replace the crush washer. Sometimes I can't get these crush washers off. Anyone else have that problem? Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, that one came off pretty easy. I just got a whole bag of these from Amazon for like $3. I'm gonna replace that. You're supposed to replace them every oil change. I never do. I just clean it. Probably while I have oil leaks, but I'm gonna put a new one in right now. And then put it back together. See how we're doing. Nice thing too is once you have the oil pulled like this, start pulling this guy. Okay, this guy's always going to leak a bunch of oil. It's just the way it's designed. Some guys punch a hole in the bottom. I don't know about doing that. But while that's draining, I'm gonna let this drip, dude. This thing's dripping a lot. So this oil thing, yep, that crush washer works. Cool. All right, so now got this guy. There you go. So, back a little bit. Try to keep my hands as clean as possible, but sometimes you just can't do anything about it. The key to this also is pulling it off and pouring it right in the oil filter catch thing. So my pan has an oil filter catch right here. It allows it to drain. And there's just no way to do this without getting messy. I shouldn't say that. There is a way to do it without getting messy. It's not usually worth it. Just get some paper towels. You'll be fine. If you got a burn pit, use the burn pit to clear out your paper towels. That should be fine. Okay, cool. That's it. Take a paper towel, clean up your hands, and then you can get this plug back in. Once it starts dripping like that, you don't need to keep messing with it. It's all the oil that you're going to get out. So that's it. I usually just clean it up like this, make sure this thing's clean, which it already is, and then I always go counterclockwise first till I hear the first click, and then I tighten it down. Okay, and this is usually about 30 foot-pounds. Now, if you have a Toyota Camry, it'll say 213 inch-pounds. Okay, you got to divide that by 12. It's still about 30 foot-pounds. The one that I just took off my friend's car, it was done with an impact wrench because the guy thought it was 200 foot-pounds. Whoever did the oil change thought it was 200 foot-pounds. It's not. It's basically, it's like tight plus an eighth. That's supposed to be about 16. Maybe a quarter is 30. Okay, that was probably a little bit too much. This was probably about 45. I did a little bit. I could feel it. Okay, but you don't want to impact wrench these guys down. Don't do that. I almost broke my neck trying to get that other thing off. It's crazy. Okay, so we got a lot of oil and fluid coming down here. I think part of it is the power steering pump O-rings need to be replaced. We'll probably do that while we got this car kind of taken apart. But if you look right here, I need to get you guys some better lighting. Let me see if I can get you guys some better lighting before I show you what I want to show you. Okay. Let's do it without dumping oil all over people. Okay. What I want to show you is, all right, this oil filter housing right here. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way a little bit. Still gotta catch those drips, but this oil filter housing right here. That guy is a big, weird-looking O-ring with a screen in it behind it, and I think it's leaking. Now it's got a sensor on the top. We're gonna change that O-ring on it, okay? And sometimes those leak. I had one leak in my 2004 or 2003 Honda Odyssey. Okay, so we're gonna change that. This one has an O-ring. We're gonna change that O-ring. We're gonna change the big O-ring behind it, and then we should be good to go. Maybe we can stop that leak on that side. I honestly think it's not gonna stop without the power steering O-rings being fixed. So I'm going to leave you right there. I'm going to go around and try to move that thing out of the way a little bit more. We'll wipe this guy up a little bit more. Always try to keep these surfaces clean. They get dirt on them and then they leak through the oil filter. You never want your oil filter leaking. Always. That should be the last thing that leaks. It should only leak when it gets hit by something. If you crash your car and that thing's leaking, well, whatever. But if it's leaking because you left dirt on the mating surface, then it's your fault. Okay. Funniest thing is I always thought this filter is so small. I wonder if I should put a new filter on it before I take it apart. That's probably a good idea so I can lay it down and not be afraid that something's gonna fall on it. Yeah, let's put a new one on here, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, so here's a new filter. Make sure you take the plastic off. If you don't take the plastic off, you're going to ruin your whole car. It won't work without the plastic being off. Okay, now another tip is when you got the plastic off, this O-ring here needs to be wet. So usually I use clean oil, but as long as your oil doesn't have dirt in it, you can use old oil, okay? And you can mate it up. Now, what I usually like to do is I like to pour some good oil in there. So probably didn't need to do that with the bad old oil. Why don't we go ahead and get some good oil, and we'll do this the right way. Let's see. And what I usually do is I'll take the old box and I'll take one paper towel that I've been using and I'll stuff it in the bottom. And then I put the old filter head up in there so that I can just take them to AutoZone or O'Reilly's. They won't leak all over my car. Okay? And that way you can transport an old oil filter without it getting out everywhere. It'll dry it up a little bit. You can just put them off to the side for now. That makes sense? All right, let me go get some clean oil. Alright, I'm going to scoot that guy out of the way. Alright. Take our oil filter. That's what I usually do. Alright. Now, if you have one of these Honda Odysseys and the sucker is burning up oil because it's blowing oil past the O-rings because the VVT has ruined the motor, but it's not a lot. And what I mean by a lot is every fill up if it's less than a quarter tank. So my car was doing about a half a quart of oil every 3 fill-ups. So every 1,000 miles, it would burn some oil. It would burn half a quart. So what I do, I use conventional oil. It's thicker, and it's worked. It was a hack from my mechanic. So take your oil, just kind of fill it up. And what I like to do is I don't care if I get some on the top, because that actually helps me. Oh, crud. Except don't overfill it. Don't do that. That's not what I meant to do. But if it gets in here, I don't have a problem with that. What I'll do is make sure my hand's clean, wipe it off on a paper towel or something, make sure my glove's clean, and then I'll wet it, and then I'll just put it all over the O-ring. Now, do yourself a big favor. Don't pour it down the side. But as you're watching, if you look really carefully, it filled up and poured over. But now, it's actually only 3/4 full or 2/3 full. Not even. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can just point those. Can you see it? Maybe you can see it that way. But it's not full anymore. So the filter material will absorb a lot of that oil. So if you wait about 3 minutes, you can actually put in a whole nother, I want to say like quarter quart. Maybe a third of a quart, maybe an eighth of a quart. And then what that will do is it won't prime. It just puts oil in the system before the system is running full tilt. Now, it's not necessary. I've seen mechanics online say it's not necessary. I believe them, but I've done it so long this way that it's kind of tradition for me, and I can't do it a different way. So, if you're a mess like me and you've spilled a bunch of oil, that's why we put down cardboard. Thank you, Amazon, for providing the world with so much cardboard that we can just waste it. I've been trying to figure that out. Like, I think we go through like 10, 15 pounds of cardboard every 2 months now. And it's like, I don't know if that's normal. Like, that doesn't seem like it should be normal. It seems like a lot of cardboard for just a house. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's try to get that up. Try to put this guy on. Let's see if we can get him on. See, oil filter. Oh, let's try to get the lighting this way so that it's not in your face. Okay, maybe. Maybe I shouldn't be pulling on wires. That might be a good plan. Just gonna hook it in. Okay. How's my framing? I don't know. There we go. It's not bad. All right. So, just like any other bolt on a car, always start counterclockwise. Okay. Why? So we can get the threads to catch. So funny, now that I'm older, it's harder for me to tell when I'm straight on a bolt from 2 feet away. It's just hard for me to tell. Got my eyes now. All right, that's good. All right, now this, do not torque this down like it's gonna support your whole weight, okay? What you wanna do is just turn it till it stops turning and then be done, okay? Maybe a little bit more than, that's it. Okay, if you put this on too tight, one, you're gonna hate it when you go to take it off, and two, I don't think it works right. I think it messes up that O-ring, so don't put it on too tight. All right, let me get another paper towel here because I'm getting covered in oil. I probably will do also spray all this stuff with brake cleaner. I don't generally like to spray everything with brake cleaner, but when I'm looking for oil leaks, I need to. So, if you look carefully here, you can see some kind of crazy oil leak going on here. We got to figure out what it is while we got everything apart. Doesn't make any sense to pull everything apart and not figure out where the oil leaks are coming from. So, kind of looks like it's coming from up top, and it kind of looks like power steering fluid. But what we're going to do is we're going to brake cleaner this all up. I'm going to put the cap on that oil in the background. But we're going to brake cleaner all this crud off, let it drop down. I'm going to drop it down on that blue pan over there. And then we should be able to tell, blue pan over there, you see it? Yeah, we're gonna drop it all down on that. And then we should be able to tell where the oil leak's coming from after that. I will say, it looks like it's either coming from this housing, because you can see the oil, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. You can see the oil kind of coming through, yeah, there you go. Behind the oil, the crank bolt. But it's not coming from the crank bolt. It looks like it's just running around the edge of it. So I think this seal is not helping me, for sure. Oh. Okay, don't know why the stream ended suddenly. I think maybe because this phone is getting really hot. So I think what we're gonna do is let's clean up underneath there. Plug is back in. It's torqued. Oh man, this stupid. This thing is so huge. The subframe is so big on this car. It's like 5 feet. Well, just look at it. It's huge. It's humongous. Oh, that doesn't help. Not sure what you should be, how you should be getting your light. Put on a headlamp. That's of course. There we go. Can't remember where you put it. So, the headlamp is an excellent hack for working on a car. Also, make sure you got safety goggles on because you're going to get dirt in your face, for sure, if you're under a car long enough. Safety goggles. Safety third. Hey man, thanks for joining the stream. Let me know your name in the comments if you can, or in the chat. Or you're just going to leave. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. I'm just here to get my stuff done and to document what I did so I don't break stuff. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this guy going. All right. Put this guy back together. Pull him out of the way. Now, normally I would fill the oil and then use and pour off the extra. Usually there's about a half quart left out of a 5-quart jug. I usually pour the extra into a extra bottle that I have that's just clean oil. But today we're not going to do that. We want it empty So let's do this. Let's make sure. Here's a little tip. If you're doing an oil change and you drop the oil, but you gotta do some work, pull the cap off and put it in the middle of the engine here. Okay? Pull the cap off, put it in the middle of the engine so that you know that that thing does not have oil in it. Now, what I might do is I might put my paper towel on it so that it doesn't get dust in it. But yeah. Do not run this engine. Sorry. Do not run this engine without oil in it. Don't run any engine without oil in it. That's the dumbest thing. It's like trying to live with no. Don't do it. So take a clean paper towel, stick it in there, in that location. Yeah. Stick it in there. Don't go crazy but just make sure it doesn't let any dust in there. And that way, when you're putting everything back together, and you see this oil cap sitting up here, you're like, oh crud, there's no oil in the car. Anyway, that's just a little tip. It's just my thought. Okay. Okay, let's keep moving. We've got to pull that oil filter housing off. I'm going to move this rack. I got to move this rack somewhere. You know what? I think I'm going to slide it underneath the car all the way to the back. Let's see if we can do that. Why don't we do that? Slide it all the way back there so we don't have to keep messing with it until we need it again. So I'm not going to need it until after the transmission, I think. So, get this stuff out of the way. Okay. Also a little tip, if you're concerned about making a mess with this bed on the cardboard, slide the cardboard, and that will keep you from making a huge old mess. So that little stand is gonna freak me out a little bit, but yeah. I always put cardboard underneath my vehicles when I'm working on them, just to keep the ground as clean as possible if I can. A lot of times you can't, but that's fine. We just need to get this out of the way, and then we can pour it off into a waste bucket, or I should say a waste jug, coat jug. I keep those around. I try to keep at least one. For this job, I kept like 4 or 5 of them around. Let's pull. Oh, this is the exhaust pipe manifold, but keep putting it on there, but I keep banging into it. Take that out of the way. So the power steering fluid's leaking on the floor. It's fine. Let's go back here. Oh, one of these bolts fell off. Which one? Oh, from the front. Yeah, look. There. So, be careful. Keep bumping these guys off. Alright, let's get these pieces of cardboard out of the way, and then we'll roll that sucker back here. Tuck in between these tires. That's from getting just kicking that thing all over the place. Give us some space on the other side of this car so we can get this thing put back together. Oh, let me do it that way. There you go. All right. Best thing I could have done. Put this thing on the creeper. Although I will say I miss having my creeper when the car is this high up in the air. It's nice to be able to roll around under it. This is good too, because I think this will keep me from getting killed if this set of jacks lets go. Okay. All right, done. Wow, that's a little better than I expected it to be. Check out. I don't know if you can see any of this, but whatever. It's all good. All right, let's see. Much better. Looking sharp. All right. let's see. Hey, thanks for joining my live stream. All right, I'm gonna try and get this oil filter housing off. Let me set the camera up and get my wrench over here and some lights. All right. Just breaking stuff. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get this as close as possible here. Why? Because we're trying to take this thing off. And a little bit back there. Okay. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3 bolts. Okay, we may need to break that loose first. And then this is a sensor. I think it's an oil pressure sensor. And then I think that's it. Why is there? It's weird. It came with 2 O-rings, so I don't know where the other O-ring goes. The other oil filter housing that I did this on was on my Honda Accord, and it had 2 sensors, so this one only has 1. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Let me get this guy. This guy. And okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's definitely gonna drip oil. Let's get something to catch that oil. Man, I wonder if I should bring that tray back over here. There's gonna be a lot of oil. Probably there's gonna be a lot of oil. I think I moved the tray out of the way too soon. Oh, I gotta get my knee back on this. Oh, if you down here with no knee pads on. Oh no, this seems like overkill. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't need that. Well, I'm going to put it under it. If it just drips, it just drips. All right. Get some paper towels. Knee pads. So we're doing all this so that we can do the rear main seal. But I want to make sure that we get everything else set properly. Otherwise, it's going to be the rear main seal is just going to pour out oil. So we're going to do all the oil stuff first, all the other oil seals first, and then finish up with the rear main seal, and then we should be good to go. All right, let's get that oil seal that I purchased for you. There we go. Rear main seal. That's that one. That's this one. and then bring this guy over. Alright. So first things first, need a pick. And alright, let's do this. See what size that guy is. Is he 25? Oh crap, he's bigger than a 25. Goodness. How big are you? You're not 25? What the heck are you? That's weird. I could have sworn you were going to be 25. I don't even know if I have a bigger... I don't think I have a bigger wrench than that. Oh, you know what? I got an open-ended wrench. Didn't find that guy. There he is. I hope you're bigger than 25. You are. Okay, good. It's doing this right in front of the... I see why some people pull the struts out. I did not pull the struts out, but some people did say that they pulled their struts out. That was part of the job. I was trying to do this the least amount. That was way looser than I think it should have been. Where my oil leak coming from? That thing was like hand tight. The heck? Why are you hand tight? It's a little odd. What am I even looking at? There's no O-ring. And there's some kind of weird goop on it. What kind of goop is that? What is this? Huh. Is that an O-ring down there? I don't know if that's an O-ring. That looks like... Oh. Did they put Teflon tape instead of an O-ring on a sensor? Are you freaking crazy? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, this is why I do my own mechanic stuff. Look at this. I don't even know if you can see this. Can you see this? Look at that. No O-ring. Freaking Teflon tape. It's freaking Teflon tape. What are you doing, mechanic? I mean, let me know if this is the right way to do it, because I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that that's not right. That ain't right. Nothing right about that. Alright, we're gonna clean this up. Goodness, I should have just left it here. I'm gonna clean this up. See if we can clean it right here where you can see it. Goodness, I can't. This is why I don't trust mechanics. I mean, I love my mechanic, Richard. Shout out to Richard at, goodness gracious, in Universal City at Woody's shop. He's the owner. He's a great guy. He's always packed because he's always honest, and he doesn't use garbage, cheapy parts, okay? Oh, man, dude. I can't believe this. I gotta check the threads in there. The threads have to be all caked up. I can't believe mechanics do crap like this. Why? Why would you just buy the O-ring? It's $1. No, this is probably, you know what, this is probably some guy trying to get the oil leak to stop. Doesn't know what he's doing. He just siliconed the crap out of it. Bro, this is supposed to have an O-ring, that's why it was leaking. I can't even begin to understand why you would do something like this. Why would you do this? I mean, it's just going to gum up the sensor. And no one in there... You're not my friend anymore, whoever worked on this car before me. And I can't tell if there's something in there. I don't think there is. I don't want to ruin the sensor. Yeah, okay, that should be fine. It's pretty clean in there. Oh, goodness gracious. This is why. This is why, guys. This is why I can't even. You know what I mean? I can't even. Goodness. It drives me crazy. Because now I gotta sit here for like an hour and clean this out in hopes that I can get the O-ring on here and it's sealed properly now. Now that there's 30 pounds of crud in this thing, man. I'm upset. I'm mostly upset because you just gotta do the right thing, guys. Well, I shouldn't talk. I'm the type of mechanic that's gonna get it done if I can, as opposed to getting it done right if I can't. I guess, man, it's just I guess it's just frustrating for me because my brother lived in Uganda for like 4 years and they couldn't get the right parts, so they had to do stuff like this. But when you got access to the right parts, you should never do stuff like this, okay? It's just infuriating. Make sure to clean every single thread that the doofus may have placed silicone on. Oh, guy. Killing me, dude. Killing me. Should have been a 3-second job where I pulled this off, put the other O-ring on. Unless there's a bigger problem up in there. Maybe there's a bigger problem up in there that I gotta go look. Maybe that whole thread is just shot. Man, I really hope not. Man, I really, really hope not. Okay. I think we're just gonna go with this. Yeah, let's just go like that. Is that a shadow? No, it's not shadows. My hands are black. Bloods. The nice thing is I'm so old right now that holding it at this distance from my face is actually helpful. Because my eyes are going bad. I love being 40. Or I should say in my 40s. So much fun. I understand why old guys suffer no fools. And that when you find a patient old guy, it's like a diamond in the rough. Because, yeah. When you get to this age, you're just like, I am done with fools. I will talk to them, do what the Bible asks, address their sin, address their ignorance, and then I'm done. If they need to continue being ignorant after that, I'm not going to change them. If the Lord ain't going to change you, then you aren't going to change anyway. If the Creator of the universe can't change you, then you weren't changing anyway. Alright, I am so disgusted by this that I think I'm gonna just... Oh, yeah, don't. Come on. I think I'm just gonna get my Dremel tool and a little wire brush and just wire brush this crud off. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because otherwise I'm gonna scratch this surface. And I bet you anything, there's supposed to be an O-ring here. Goodness gracious, bro. Silicone is not the answer to everything. Especially not on a sensor, guys. Guys, the sensors are really... They are susceptible to blockage. Don't do this. Goodness gracious. Like, look how much debris could potentially get into the sensor. This is infuriating. Like, look how much debris is in here. It's just so much. It's just so much. It's like every one of these pieces could destroy... Well, maybe not destroy Andrew, but it could destroy... Yeah, it could destroy your engine. gets lodged in the wrong place at the wrong time, the wrong detonation, yeah, it could destroy your engine. This is dumb. This is so dumb. This is not a plumbing. This is not your plumbing fixture in your house. You can't just put putty on the things. I mean, yes, you can put RTV silicone on stuff, and this looks like maybe it's RTV silicone. But don't use it to replace an O-ring, man. O-rings are high pressure. Oh, goodness, I think I found the oil leak. This has got to be the oil leak. If this isn't the oil leak, then this car's got more problems than I thought. Oh, goodness. All right. Let me see if this kit even has an O-ring for that thing. Maybe it doesn't, and maybe I'm just being crabby for no reason. Okay, this is the Felpro 7304. It's actually the same one as my 2003 Honda Accord. Comes with this guy and a couple other O-rings. One of them is this little guy. And I thought that little guy was for this guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's not that one. Yeah, that's not the right O-ring. So I'm going to measure this, find what O-ring is supposed to be in there. Make sure it's not lodged somewhere. Make sure there's not a third one. Is there a third one? Nope. I don't see a third one. Okay, so we might need to find an O-ring for this. I think I have one. I got some extra O-rings. And I have a silicone one. It's white. Normally they're supposed to be black, and I don't know if there's a temperature difference, but it looks small enough that it might work on this. I'm so mad. All right, I'm going to get my Dremel. I'll be right back. I'm not messing with this anymore. That's why I got trust issues with mechanics. Right there, that's why. Right there. I got trust issues. Usually you don't want to do this high-speed stuff around oil and things if things are open, but right now everything's pretty much closed except for where this guy was. Lowering the speed to like 1 because I just wanted to brush it off. I don't want it to go crazy. Okay. Can't believe they put silicone on the pressure sensor for the oil. Did I put it on one? No, I didn't. Whoops. Okay. I can't believe this. This is not how this should be going, by the way. It's crazy. It's all good. You gotta adapt. Whenever you're doing mechanics work, you gotta realize there's a reason why mechanics get paid a lot. Okay, and it's because there's always one point in the job where it just sucks. And that's the point where they make their money. Where it's like one bolt is put in the wrong place by the engineer and you got to disassemble 19 more things. Those engineers are idiots from some car makers. But I will say, usually if you can push through that one stupid thing in your little job working on your car, you're pretty golden. And once you push through that, you are good to go and you can save yourself a lot of money. Now, pushing through does not mean forcing things. Pushing through means finding a solution that works. And sometimes that means you got to stop what you're doing and get some more research done, watch some more YouTube videos or whatever. But yeah, there's always a point in working on your car that it totally sucks, and then it gets super nice after that. Okay, this is interesting. It's like polishing that surface, which is good. All your mating surfaces for O-rings and stuff should be clean, clean, clean. I can't believe this guy put silicone on here. This better not be the way it's supposed to be. If it is Honda, you're not my friend anymore. But yeah, and I would hate that because I'm already not Toyota's friend anymore after that oil cartridge garbage they pulled on the 2013 Camry. Had to change one of those last week, and goodness gracious, had to buy a special tool. Oh, I'm not even framing right. Goodness gracious, man. Why a special tool for changing oil filters? That's so nuts. It's so nuts. Oil filter's been the same for like 110 years, dude. Yeah, probably not. But you don't gotta improve on filter unless you're doing racing. Okay? If you're doing racing, then yeah, by all means, be cutting edge, make it weird. But don't get a special $12 tool for no reason. No reason, Toyota. No reason. Maybe to make your oil change guy in your shop make it easier for him for 10 seconds. But it ruins everyone else's day who's working on your cars at home. Come on, man. Come on. Killing me, dog. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. We have to switch to the round one so we can get deep into that crevice. Yeah, see, that's an O-ring crevice. This guy put this thing on with no O-ring. He just gummed it up with silicone grease or silicone sealant. I'm so mad right now. Okay, so that needs that. Let's just switch. Let's switch it over. Okay, let's switch over. Normally I would unplug this thing, but shouldn't even having to do this part. Stupid. Some doofus put silicone instead of an O-ring. Really hope I have an O-ring for that. If not, I'll be spending some time looking for one. That explains why I got oil leaks on this car. Doesn't it? That does to me. Alright, we're increasing speed to 2. Let's see if that helps. That does help. Looks way better. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a polished mating surface. That's what I'm talking about. No silicone crud. You gotta put an O-ring on that. There's even a lip for the O-ring, guys. Come on. See it? Do you see it? God, I can't believe they put RTV on it. And it didn't work. Whoever it was that did that just leaked oil everywhere, just so you know. Can't put O-rings. You can't replace O-rings with RTV. Whoever you are that did that, you're not my friend. You're not my friend. Okay. Well, now it's nice and clean. It's actually really clean. It's polished. I'm just cleaning up the threads. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but some crazy nut put RTV silicone instead of an O-ring on this freaking oil sensor and thought that was a great idea. And so I'm pretty sure it was leaking. The other thing that's crazy, it was like hand tight. It wasn't even tight in there. Okay, we're gonna have to switch phones because, or I should say, we're gonna have to get some power cords. This phone is dying. Alright, give me just a minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you guys a power cord. That looks way, way better. Way, way better. Alright, let's wipe it off. Probably should spray some brake cleaner in there, in the hole, just to make sure it's not, I don't know. I get really nervous about spraying brake cleaner into sensors. But let me get you guys a power cord so we don't lose you. Oh my goodness, it looks so much better. Killing me, dog. Killing me. All right. Be right back. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Okay, now I gotta figure out if there's silicone in that hole. I'm just gonna jump up top and see if I can see down inside. Can you believe it? Of course not. No way to see it. I'll get a mirror. Mechanics mirror. The mechanics mirror is about the same as a dental mirror. Okay? Should work about exactly the same. It should be the mechanics trays. So, around for it. Yeah. All right. Found it. Beautiful. Alright, my family's home, so I think I'm going to pause for right now, and I will come back in a bit. Alright.